Hello and welcome to TelecomTV. I'm Martyn Warwick. We're here in sunny California in San Francisco at IDF, the Intel Developers Forum. And I'm talking with Deepak Rana, Director Systems and Technology Market Development at Intel, and also with Vasu Sankhavaram, who is with HP, where he is Chief Technologist and Strategist, NFV Business Unit. Gentlemen, welcome. I'd like to begin by making an observation and ask you a question. One of the things that seems to me to characterise NFV and SDN, but NFV in particular, is that there is an enormous amount of collaboration, deep, continuing collaboration, quite profound collaboration in some cases, between companies that in the past, and maybe again in the future, will be almost mortal enemies, to say the least of it sometimes. So, this is an unusual characteristic. I know that HP and Intel have been in collaboration and partnership for a long time. So tell us about it. Why did you find it necessary to do that? What's it like working with each company, and what do you get out of it?
Again, as you pointed out, Martyn, Intel and HP have been working very closely together. We have a very long-standing, very fruitful relationship where we have served both the consumer side of the house as well as the business side of the house. And as you know, with network function virtualization, CSPs are facing this enormous tidal wave of network transformation. Their revenues are stagnant or declining. The over-the-top providers, the WhatsApps of the world are essentially taking a lot of their cheese, so to speak, and their cost of operations is huge. So with NFV, the whole premise behind it is how do we reduce the total cost of ownership for our CSP customers while their agility goes through the roof, right? Essentially, they are tracking with the speed and agility of a Web 2.0 company or the newer enterprise companies. So the approach is they need to move away from bespoke custom hardware solutions to industry standard server-based solutions and using the principles of virtualization and cloud. And also looking at things like service brokering, the kind of work that is right now going on with microservices, with DevOps, with continuous delivery and integration and so on. Long story short, what better companies can you come up with who can provide the entire soup to nuts, all the way from the infrastructure, whether it's the physical infrastructure, whether it's the virtualization software on top of it with OpenStack, the management stack associated, and providing a rich partner ecosystem of applications, whether it's CPE, customer premises equipment software, or EPC, Evolved Packet Core, or IMS software. So providing the end-to-end solutions, all the way from the NFV platform, the applications, and the services associated. And all of this is based on both HP's and Intel's commitment to the thought leadership and the technology leadership, whether it is to do with the open standards like HCE standards, or commitment to investing in open source with OpenStack, Open Daylight. And so, long story short, what we are doing is HP and Intel are working very closely together to take the right set of technology components, including the Intel IA, the chipsets, as well as Intel's Wind River Titanium server, in terms of the providing a carrier-grade performance, reliability, and management infrastructure software. Couple that with HP's other hardware components, as well as HP's management software. And we are coming up with a complete, comprehensive solution set that we believe our CSP customers can adopt in their journey to implementing NFV. So that's a long answer. So
I was going to say, that was a pretty comprehensive answer. I don't know whether it leaves you with anything to say at all, Vasu, but I'm sure you will.
So I'll cue back to your original question, that it's an unusual scenario, as you pointed out, in case of NFV deployment. Historically, competitors that used to be competitors typically many times that need to collaborate in delivering the solution. A key component of that, a reason behind that, is the traditional world used to be where equipment vendors were vertically integrated. They offered from hardware, services, deployment, you name it. However, there was a service assurance involved with it for the service provider, but there was a massive cost involved with this also, and that was an extremely high cost of deployment. To put in perspective, To move same 1 bit from place A to B, it costs Google, let's say price X, this public knowledge. However, for a typical service provider, that cost is 2 to 10x. To further compound it, Google offers that service for free to the end user, and service provider has to make money. So now service providers are pushed against the wall from the likes of Google from a deployment of services. On the other hand, they're getting completely clobbered by over-the-top providers who are squatting on their network and delivering their bread and butter services. To solve that problem, it's for the service provider both an issue of survival as well as viability and delivering value so they can make money. To do that, there is no fixed solution. They cannot go to any individual 1 or 2 suppliers and say, give me everything, because that defeats the whole purpose. They also are not vertically integrated to roll everything on their own. So it's like a bit of a Lego block jigsaw puzzle in which to deliver the end solution to them, a vast swath of service provider, equipment vendor, component vendors need to come together in an interchangeable, seamless interface way to deliver to the service provider what they want. And it is at the early stages of adoption or deployment.
Deepak Rana and Vasu Sankaravan, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks,
Thank
Martyn.
you. Thanks for the invite. Thanks, Martyn.
Thank you.